swear it's hard to forgive them all, steady give them all. My heart, soul, blood, sweat, and tears don't applaud. I ain't even worthy of it, cause I know I'm flawed. Saying you not perfect, but I see that shit differently. The best thing to come along in an infinity. So much affinity, I put you on a pedestal. Didn't like it, so you shut it down like Trump did the federal. Look, I'm here to tell you though, always gonna lift you up. You seeing flaws, but I'm seeing vivid gifts and stuff. In you I found heaven, El Dorado and Shambhala. My peace when chips are down like a paralyzed Estrada. Sometimes I feel like Marvin, yeah, it make me wanna holler. Cause these feelings hit me quicker than performing a lambada. I don't ever wanna lose you, want this here forever. If we both feeling flawed, then we should be good together. Let's roll. Father, forgive me for this hate in my heart. I swear it's hard to forgive them all.
Alright, yo, I'm back. So, okay, y'all probably gonna hear some noise because I had to turn my heater on. Like, I had turned it off because I was getting, because I didn't want that noise in the background while I record the video, but I went on and turned it back on because I was cold as fuck. And I was trying to, hide the fact that I was shivering. But anyway. I feel like I'm getting sleepy since I turned the heat on. But my point that I was making earlier, I think I just moved the phone. Anyway, my point that I was making in the last video, like I said, there was a lot of stuff that was going on with me and Janae. A lot of things that I was upset about. And I think what really fucks me up is that her and I both kind of ended up having the same feeling about the other one. Like, she told me she felt like she was never enough for me. And that, that I didn't love her for her. Which, I can understand that I never showed her that enough. And that's my fault. That I didn't really take the time to let her know how much I loved her. And when I did start to tell her, it was too late. Because by then, she had started slipping away. But, I felt the same way. Sadly. I felt like that I wasn't enough for her either. And I always felt like that from the beginning. That's what's fucked up about it, I felt like that from the very beginning. Or, I won't say from the very beginning. Because from the very beginning, I felt like I was everything, for her. Considering what she told me. Then I think like after the first couple weeks, because we got together on December 20th, 2014. I'll never forget that day. And that's why every time it gets close to Christmas, I get real depressed. I mean, honestly, I get depressed, just this month and in December. But, like, I think after New Year is when we kind of started to have some issues. And, like, there was a time, I want to apologize ahead of time about me talking about this. But I got to tell the truth about how I was doing, But anyway, there was a time when Janae was going over to a friend's house, just to hang out. And like I said, due to the fact that I had dealt with so much stuff before I got with her, I flipped out. I kept calling her, I kept texting her, and, it ruined her hanging out with her friend. That was me. My insecurity and my paranoia got the best of me that day. But after that, I worked on myself and worked on not acting like that. And, and that's when, like I said, it got around to the point of I was like, though I would like to talk more because we really didn't talk much. We text a lot and interacted on Facebook. So it seemed like we was just like in a relationship just for the title and status on Facebook, but we didn't talk that much, outside of texting each other here and there. Like I said, and that's when she said to me something about, absence makes the heart grow fonder. And, my heart was growing fond of her from the very first time we talked on the phone. But I started to feel like, I wasn't important to her. And like I said, that led me to do and say things that I shouldn't have, said and did. It was all because I felt, neglected. Like I said, what's fucked up is that later on, or even around the same time, she started to feel the same thing. She started to feel like I didn't care about her, or that I wasn't that into her, didn't want to be with her, but I did. I had always wanted to be with Janae, but, truthfully, like I said, got wrapped up in wanting her attention because, like, what I was used to, and as she said to me, that I kind of had put her on a pedestal, or, kind of made it where I gave her these expectations, that she couldn't really live up to. And, for me, I mean, I understand her saying that the expectations were too high, but those expectations came from stuff that she was already doing, before we got together. And so I just kind of expected all of that to remain the same. But I understand that she felt the same way with me. She expected me to keep doing what I was doing before I got with her and when we first got together. Because I did stop doing a lot of stuff. But I stopped doing a lot of this stuff for a dumb reason. Because like I said, I felt like I wasn't, really being appreciated, or that I wasn't wanted, I wasn't needed. And like I said, we went through a whole lot of that. Because I'm not trying to make her look like a bad person or anything with what I'm saying. What I'm saying is how I felt. See, how I felt and how I perceived things are different from how they actually were. Like I felt that I was being abandoned. I felt that I was being ignored. I felt that I wasn't, enough for her. But the truth is that she was just busy with a lot of stuff, things she was doing. And at some point in time, I did start to feel like maybe we shouldn't have got together at that point in time in her life because, she had started going to school. She had gotten 2 jobs at one point in time. And, we argued about that, because that was always an issue for me, She eventually let one of them go, though. But it was always an issue for me that she worked a lot. And it was always an issue for her that I wasn't up there, even with her working a lot. Because as she had said, if I was up there, it wouldn't have to be a problem about her, working a lot, which I guess you could say it might have not been. I don't know. I'll never know now, because we'll never get a chance to, go that far. But originally I wasn't supposed to talk about Janae this much, but I just got some stuff I need to get off my chest. So, like I said, she might not be happy with what I'm saying. She might be upset. It's the same thing. She might be really upset with me. She might be pissed off. But I just have to say how I feel, right now. And how I felt at that time. But the one thing for me, like I said, was that. And like I said, this is the reason why I keep saying that I don't want to be in another relationship. She had said to me, never say never and all of that, and sometimes I feel like she be trying to convince me of certain stuff because she's trying to convince herself of something. That's how I feel. I feel like when she keep trying to tell me to never say never, you never know who you'll meet, but then she'll turn around and be like, I don't think, romantic relationships, are meant for me, talking about her when she says she don't think romantic relationships are meant for her. From my perspective, again, I'm not trying to say that anything she's saying isn't valid, for her, because however she feels, however she perceives and sees things, that is valid. Her feelings are always valid. That's the point I wanna make sure that is known, that her feelings are always valid. But my feelings are also valid. And I feel that when she tells me things like that she's just trying to deflect from what I'm saying. That's what I feel like. I feel like it is a huge deflection. That when I say, hey, I really don't want to go that route with anybody else anymore. I don't. Because by the time that I had, decided to, finally ask Janae out again, that really was what I was considering to be my last, chance at love. And I blew it. There's no disputing that. I fucked up. And I know she still sometimes tries to say, we both messed up. It's not just your fault. And it is true. We both had a hand in it. But if anybody's keeping score and you want to look at the tally, I fucked up by a wider margin. A lot of times the things she did and said were just in response to things that I did and said, or things that I wasn't doing. I mean, that there were things that we both did that neither one of us is proud of. I'm definitely not proud of anything I did. Not happy about any of it. And if I could go back in time and change it, I would. Like I said to Takina, if I could just wake up tomorrow and have a do-over, I would. That means I would have to go all the way back through 2015 back up to now. But if I could have a do-over, I would. And that's the reason why I've started to feel myself being really angry with her. And I don't know, maybe the anger I'm feeling is the same anger she's felt and still feels. I don't know. But I'm really, really bitter at the fact that I'll never get another chance. I'm very bitter about that. And I always will be. There is no, I know, like I said, people said never say never. But I'm still holding grudges with people from elementary. So there are a lot of things I don't get over. And this is one of those things that I know I'm going to actually be angry about a whole lot. And it's to the point that it's really started to disrupt me. I can't really focus on things like I want to. Like, I managed to finally write something again. But a lot of my feelings, how I'm feeling right now, my anger, my heartbreak, my depression, even some of my suicidal thoughts, they've all gone into what I've been writing. So, because both Keith and Ronald, remarked on how dark the most recent thing I wrote, went. It started off like it was, I guess, going to be really light and funny, and it just hit that darkness real quick because I have a whole lot of darkness in me right now. I feel like if somebody was just to cut me open, that's all it would be. It would be the abyss. Because that's how I feel. I don't feel like I can be joyful. I can be content, for a little bit. I can be a little amused. But I can never be completely happy. As long as, because what's crazy for me, heartbreak is a thing that's really supposed to be a mental, emotional thing. But with me, my actual heart is hurting. And every time I think about the possibility, the reality that she's talking to somebody else, or that she will talk to somebody else, it just feels like, sometimes it feels like my heart is just trying to come apart. Like one day, I literally kind of had a panic attack about it, Another time I almost passed out. I was so, just fucked up. That's just being honest. This shit has been fucking with me on all kinds of levels. I am very stressed out. I can't really get into anything that I used to get into because a lot of shit reminds me of her. I love that girl. I didn't show it the way I should have, but I've grown a whole lot since then. Even though I know some mistakes I made were back in 2019, but those were extremely minor in my personal opinion. But of course, I know it's major to her. Because despite how much I used to call her a robot in the past, and she hated me for calling her that, and hated that I said that, I know that she feels. I know that she has feelings. It's just that she's not the type of person to open up like that. She's not the type of person to really be, I guess, forthcoming. It takes a whole lot before she really says how she feels. And that's cool. That's cool with me. I never want to force her to open up about anything. I always want it to be that she opens up about something when she's comfortable. But I know so far, with the way we've gone back and forth, like I said, that's the only reason why I kind of felt like there was still something there. And she apologized, saying she was sorry. She gave me that, that idea. And I guess that was the one reason why she was trying to put some distance between us, and set up boundaries. Because she doesn't want me to keep having, this, I guess she doesn't want me to keep thinking, that there is something still there. But even with that, even with putting distance between us, I feel like it's more for her than it is for me. Because regardless of how much distance there is between us, I'm always going to want her. Even with being bitter and angry right now and kind of just wishing that she didn't exist, just to be completely honest. I have wished, sometimes that I never met her. But at the same time, I don't want to lose all those memories. Because we shared a lot of happy times together, even though there were a lot of fights, there were a lot of happy times. The times that we watched movies together, and it would always be movies that she would pick out. Like a few times I picked out movies. Why she was like, I'm not letting you pick out any movies anymore. So she would pick them out, and then she ended up complaining. Like, actually, she probably complained halfway through the movie, like, this is boring, or this doesn't make any sense, or why did they do that? And I'm like, you the one picked it out? Not me. This is your pick. Like, we watched this one movie where I think this chick got bit by a snake or some shit. And I don't know, I think the whole time the woman was dead. I think that's what it was, but it was something that she really wanted to watch. And for me, I didn't care. As long as, she wanted to watch something together, I was fine. I would watch anything with her. I mean, we were watching this dating show called Love is Blind, and I might have ruined it because I got to talking about, the interracial relationship on there. Because while I know that there are a lot of people around me that are in interracial relationships, I'm not for that at all. Yeah, I've talked to some white girls, but I never wanted to marry them, just to be completely honest. They were just somebody I was just talking to at the time. And a few times I talked to white women simply because I wanted to make some of the black girls I knew upset. Petty shit to do, immature shit to do, but that's the main reason I did that. Now, with honesty, I did kind of, I did develop some feelings for her, and I hate myself for that, to be honest. Because that's why I had to tell her later on that she'll never be on the same level as a black woman, and that's just being honest. I did talk to her, but I had to be honest with honesty. She'll never be on the same level as a black woman. And I know that really fucked her up, and that's the reason why she started doing some shit to come between me and Janae. Because, like I said, I realized that it was her that was sending these messages to Janae and was commenting all on her stuff. She had made a fake profile, because she had sent me a message too. And I realized that it was her, because she was upset about what I said. Because, see, she said a stupid-ass statement to me one time. She said, black women don't know how to treat black men. That is the dumbest statement I ever heard. Because while there are some fucked up females, that are in our race, every race and ethnicity has fucked up females. Every race and ethnicity got bitches and hoes. There's a lot of bitches. A lot of my exes, the ones that I really don't communicate with anymore, they all bitches, and some of them hoes too. But Everybody has those. So you can't just sit up here and say black women don't know how to treat black men. You don't know how to treat black men. That's the first mistake right there. I mean, some other coon ass Negro might go for that. Might be like, yeah, you right. They don't know how to treat us. You know, but I don't fuck with this shit. Nah. You know, there's nothing like a black woman. I love black women. Majority of women I talk to have always been black. And it's not just because that's what's around me or that's what, you know, anything like that. That's what I sought out. I sought out black women. No matter if they were dark skinned, light skinned, don't matter. I've always sought out black women. Do I get upset with black women sometimes? Yes. And one of the reasons I'm upset right now, because it seems like a lot of black women are preferring to go and talk to, you know, white guys, Asian guys, Hispanic guys, anybody that isn't black pretty much. And I think that ties into the whole, you know, stuff that we're going through as a race. Because black men and just black people in general are at the bottom. You know, we're at the bottom, you know, of the whole. I would have to go back and watch Yvette and Tone's videos to really find the word I'm trying to say. But when it comes to wealth, we're at the bottom. Black men don't have the same access to good jobs like other people do. And that's mostly because of how a lot of us grew up and were raised. You know, a majority of black people did not grow up middle class. But then you got some that did, excuse me, especially a lot of young ladies. And so because they grew up in that lifestyle, it upsets them that they can't find any men that are like the lifestyle that they grew up in, what they're used to. You know. Like I said, I'm a nigga from the hood. I grew up poor. I'm still poor. You know, there are some things I have, but it took a long time to get them. And even now, I still don't have certain stuff. One reason is because I'm unemployed right now. But even if I was employed, because even when I was working, I still couldn't afford a lot of things. Because the job I had, it was just a warehouse job. It wasn't no job that paid up. You know, it didn't pay bukus of money. You know. It's just a warehouse job. 8-10 hours a day. Sometimes. It all depends. But niggas still didn't make a whole lot of money. It wasn't nothing that I could pay bills with and splurge on myself. I had to choose when I could do things. I had to pay some bills 1 week or 1 month rather, and then buy other stuff. That's why, like, when I bought shoes, I only ended up buying like 3 pairs of shoes. And one of those was real expensive. That was them super shoes I bought, the Lil Wayne shoes. Those set me back like $125, I think. But after that, I had to buy cheap shoes. And so when I bought those Osiris and the other pair of Supers, those were $40. So I $80 tops on 2 pairs of shoes. I wanted some more shoes, but I wasn't able to get them. I bought a few shirts. Bought some belts, bought myself another backpack, you know, but other than that, I wasn't able to just really get a whole lot of stuff that I wanted because some of the clothing that I wanted was really, really expensive. I would have ended up having to spend my whole check on, you know, 1 pair of pants. So, you know, look like I'm gonna end up having to make 3 videos. This is gonna be a lot. But anyway, so, you know, but yeah, you know, with the way things are now, black men, you know, us, a majority of us, we don't have good jobs. I'm not saying that there aren't black men that don't, you know. I mean, yeah, I'm not saying that there are black men that there aren't any black men that do, because there are. But there are a small number of black people that have good jobs, you know. But, like, my main point is that black love is important to me. In my family, that's all I've ever seen. Regardless of my mom and dad not being together, I still saw examples of black love all around me. My aunt and uncle, well, all my aunt and uncles, just about. My grandfather and my grandmother, definitely. You know, they were together pretty much until, you know, my grandfather died, and then my grandmother died 3 years later. But black love is what I grew up in, what I grew up seeing, That's what I like. I love black women. Are there some white women and Asian women that are attractive to me? Hell yeah. You know, like there's a chick named Nicole Kang. I think that's her name. She play on Batwoman. She's attractive to me. The chick that play Alice on Batwoman. She's attractive. Believe it or not, even though she a lesbian, Ruby Rose is attractive. You know, especially when I saw her with long hair, I was like, fuck, you know. But they still don't hold a candle to the black women, to Javicia Leslie. That's the chick that played Batwoman. Candace Patton, that played Iris. Why can't I think of her name right now, man? Got the biggest crush on her and can't remember her damn name. But the chick that played Bunny on Vampire Diaries, always been crazy about her. Now I think she mixed or something like that, but it don't matter whether she mixed or not. She black, you know. At one point in time, I was crazy about Gabrielle Union. Let's see, Vivica A. Fox, Halle Berry, of course. I don't know nobody that don't like Halle Berry, really, to be honest. I'd be hard pressed to find any Negro to be like, I don't like Halle Berry, you know. Like shit, white men be going crazy over her. But anyway, shit. Any of the ladies that was in the group Black, I can't remember any of their names right now. I know one of them is dead because I was so upset when that happened. Because I think it was 2013, I believe, when she died. She was hit because I think she had started going through some stuff. I gotta look it up again, but I believe it was 2013 when that happened. Cause I remember when I first found it out, and I was like, "Fuck, man!" Because she was my favorite one, the one that rapped. And like I said, I can't remember her name right now. I want to say her name was Natina. I think, like I said, I gotta look it up again. But she was my favorite one. I know it's fucked up saying somebody your favorite one and you can't remember their name, but it's been years. So I just know that I loved her and her verses on, 808, and even the 808 remix. I don't know if she had a verse on Bring It All to Me or not, but regardless, I loved her, because she had that whole, I think Left Eye was like her mentor, so I liked Left Eye. Actually, I liked all of TLC, but Chili was my favorite. Chili was definitely my favorite. At one point in time, I had a crush on Missy Elliott, Tweet, Eve, MC Light. I still got a crush on her. Lana Mora, I think that's her real name. I still got a crush on her. Kim Fields, Tatiana Ali, Karen Parsons, Felicia Rashad. I'm just calling off, random people right now. AJ Sanders, a chick from a different world. At one point in time, I had a little crush on Jada Pinkett, but I ain't never been that crazy about her. Let's see, Lisa Ray. Man, it's so many women. I'm just gonna have to compile a list because it's a lot of them. It is a lot. Both of Vanessa Williams, Vanessa L. Williams, and Vanessa Williams. I think. I don't think she, or was it Vanessa A. Williams? I can't remember. But the chick that played in Soul Food and also played in Lean On Me, and then the model, Aisha Tyler. I know she was married to a white man. I think I remember reading that she don't even like black dudes. Kind of fucked me up when I found that out. At least that's what I remember reading. I don't know how true it is. Who else? Nia Long, Sanaa Lathan, Monica Calhoun. That's what I was trying to think of. Regina King. Man, I could go for days. I just can't remember half the names right now. I could go for days. Naturi Naughton, I think that's her name. What is the chick name that played on Black Panther? Damn. It just saw something about her because she got injured on the set of the movie, so they got to put it on hold. But I definitely got a crush on her. The first time I watched Black Panther, my eyes was on her every time she was in the scene. Man. I'm gonna give it a rest for right now. Okay, I'll say one last. Keke Palmer. But anyway, I spent a lot of time talking about that. I love black women, man. And that's all that's for me. Black women. Like, even when I did a lot of flirting with women, those women were black. Again, not justifying my flirting in any type of way, but I'm just saying, I wasn't trying to flirt with no white chicks. I wasn't trying to flirt with no Hispanic chicks. I wasn't trying to flirt with no Asian chicks. Even though there were a few in my friends list that, did like me, think I was cute and whatnot. I wasn't trying to flirt with them. It's always black women. Flirting was a big issue in my relationship. And, me and Janae both did our fair share of it. But of course, I know I did more. And it was disrespectful to her. And I apologize for doing it. Of course, there's nothing I can say or do that can change what I did in the past. But that's the reason why I'm bitter. I'm bitter because I know I'm not getting another chance. And I'm also bitter because I know that I fucked up and that I ruined my own chance. That's what I'm bitter about. I'm full of a lot of anger and pain. This shit just be killing me every day. The only thing I want to do is just really work on myself. But I know that if I can never, like I said, if her and I can never, get back to some type of point where we can be together, because I always felt like that if we were really honest with each other about how we're feeling right now, that would help smooth things over. That's what I felt like. But I realized that, that like I said, I can't change her mind. But I will always hold on to hope that maybe one day her mind will change, and that we can do something. But if we can't start over, if we can't, work things out, then yeah, I can't talk to her. And I know she said me being the way I am makes her not want to talk to me, and that's cool. Because I'm always going to be like this. I'm always going to have feelings for her. I'm always going to love her. I'm always going to want her. So as long as she doesn't want anything to do with that, then, I guess we'll just have to be like this. I'm going to make another video. I'm going to stop this one right here. So, hold on.
I swear it's hard to forgive them all, steady give them all. My heart, soul, blood, sweat, and tears don't applaud. I ain't even worthy of it, cause I know I'm flawed. Father, forgive me for this hate in my heart. I swear it's hard to forgive them all, steady give them all. My heart, soul, blood, sweat, and tears don't applaud. I ain't even worthy of it, cause I know I'm flawed. Breathe and let me rise on into the sky. Just let me fly. Oh, yeah.